of Patola Palalo Foundation, the President of Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteers. Respectable the keynote speakers from 47 countries, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, from Yayan Madura, located in Pamekasan Regency, Madura Island, East Java, Indonesia. Allow me to say and to welcome you all. Welcome to the grand opening of the Mega Virtual International Conference 2021 on multidisciplinary hybrid learning in achieving sustainable development goals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is such a great honor for me to be among you all virtually. My name is Abdul Wafi. I am a Master of Ceremony of this grand opening. I would like to read the agenda of this grand opening session. The first is opening, the second is singing Indonesian national anthem and March of MPI. Welcoming speech by Head of Islamic Education Management Program, by Director of Yayan Madura, by the President of Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteer. And the last is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, now we start this program by reading Suratul Fatihah. Ala hadiniya wal kulliyatin salihah al-Fatihah. Thank you very much. Singing Indonesian National Anthem and March of MPI.
University Competitive.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, dear brothers and sisters, now we would like to listen to the opening speech. The first from the head of Islamic Education Management Program, Dr. Ali Nurhadi, MPD.
Thank you, Mr. Wafi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Dear Excellency, Director of Institut Agama Islam Negeri Madura, Dr. Haji Muhammad Qasim MAG, Dear Excellency, Dekan Fakultas Tarbiyah, spesial beliau Dr. Haji Atikula SAG, Dear Excellency, Director of Institut Agama Islam Negeri Lok Sumawe, Dr. Daniel MAG, Dear Excellency, Director of Universitas Siliwangi Tasikmalaya, Profesor Dr. Haji Rudi Priyadi, MS, Dear Excellency, Director of Universitas Asyariah Mandar, Dr. Anda Hajah Kudurah Sahibuddin MSI, Dear Excellency, Director of Universitas Muhammadiyah Siderang Rapang, Dr. Haji Jamaluddin Ahmad SOS MSI, Dear Excellency, Director of Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Bahasa Arab Darul Ulum Banyuanyar, Raden Kiai Haji Salahuddin Samsul Arifin MA, Respectable the founder of Padola Palau Foundation Indonesia, Dr. Andi Asrifan MPD, Respectable the President of Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteers, he is Mr. Abdul Ghafur from CIN Madura. Thank you, Mr. Ghafur, for motivation. So, distinguished keynote speakers, representative from 47 countries around the global, dear beloved committee participants, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ali Nurhadi, as the head of Islamic Education of Management Program, Tarbiyah Fakulti IAIN Madura. Allow me to say and to welcome you all to great conference, the mega virtual international conference on multidisciplinary habits learning in achieving sustainable development goals. How much I am so lucky to have you all here in this spectacular event. Thank you very much for all keynote speakers who are willing to share their best ideas and insight. Special to the Dean of Fakulti Tarbiyah IAIN Madura. He is Dr. Haji Atikula SAG. The Unitarian Committee, the faithful participants for the support. This is the form of amazing global collaboration that the conference come up, and this collaboration need to continue conducting for gaining better future progress, especially in this 21st century life 5.0 era. As one of the hosts of this conference, we do ask apologies for any inconveniences. Again, thank you for very much and happy joining the conference of Daisam till the end. Thank you, matur sekelangkung, matur nuwun, terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Dr. Haji Ali Nur Hadi MPD as the head of Islamic Education Management Program, as the host of this day one conference. Dear brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, the second welcoming speech and also officially opened by Director of YIN Madura, Dr. Muhammad Qasim MAG.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon from Indonesia. Honorable Rector of IAIN Roksamawi Aceh, Honorable Rector of Muhammadiyah University, Sidenreng Rapang Sot, Sulawesi, Honorable Rector of Siliwangi University, West Java, Honorable Principal of Stiba Pamekasan, Honorable Rector of Ansariah University, Mandar, West Sulawesi, Honorable all resources person, all guest speaker from all over the world. My deepest gratitude to the President of Indonesia, Share to Care International Volunteers for the guidance supporting our event named Mega Virtual Conference with the theme Multidisciplinary Hybrid Learning in Achieving Sustainable Development Goals. In this case, the conference going to help for 6 days, start from 22 December up to 27 December 2021. It is such an honor for IAIN Madura to have this mega conference with more than 20 guest speaker and resources person. Of 47 guest speaker from all the other of the world and 13 from center from Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants of this conference, Alhamdulillah, praise over the presence of God Almighty, because on this day we can gather in the conference hall of IAIN Madura, Java, Indonesia, and also in the Zoom meeting platform. So have a wonderful conference. Praise and greeting my express to the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, as academic culture, this event going to have a great change for all experts to share and care about the sustainable development goals as this united function goal to keep inclining in goal other. Hopefully, this
Thank you very much for the inconvenience due to unstable connection. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the next welcoming speech by the President of Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteers, Mr. Abdul Ghaffar.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon from Indonesia. Honorable Rectors of the IAIN Madura, Honorable Head of Islamic Education Management of IAIN Madura, Honorable the Dean of Tarbiyah Faculty of IAIN Madura, Honorable Rector of IAIN Loksmawe Aceh, Honorable Rector of Muhammadiyah University dan Rapang, South Sulawesi, Honorable Rector of Siliwangi University, East of Java, Honorable Principal of Stiba Pamekasan, Honorable Rector of Al Ansariah University of Mandar, West Sulawesi, Honorable Founder of Patola Palalu Foundations, Dr. Andi Asrifan, Honorable Directors, Principals, Founder of all global partner from India, from Pakistan, Dr. Faisal Fayaz, from Bangladesh, Iraq, Egypt, Mexico, Philippines, Australia, Dr. Chris Soteropoulos, thank you for your coming. From UK, Professors Elizabeth and others all over the globe. Honorable all resource persons and all keynote speakers from all over the world who joining in this afternoon. My deepest gratitude to the Director of IAIN Madura, IAIN Loksmawe, UMS Rapang, South Sulawesi, Unasman, Mandar West Sulawesi, Siliwangi University, and also TIBA for supporting our events, namely Mega Virtual Conference with the theme Multidisciplinary Hybrid Learning in Achieving Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, that going to hold for 6 days, start from today up to 27th December 2021. It is such an honor for us to hold this mega conference with more than 60 keynote speakers and resource persons. For these keynote speakers from all over the world, answering presenters from Indonesia, and also several presenters, a student of from University Global. Also, my gratitude goes to our team, Dr. Mutmaina, our fighters, Dr. Nurul Fadilah, Dr. Abdul Wafi, Dr. Almira, Tri Nadila, and also my team, Mr. Badruin Amin and his team. Thank you for the support. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants of the conference, Alhamdulillah, praise of the creation of God Almighty, because on this day we can gather in this conference hall of IAIN Madura, East of Java, Indonesia, and also in the Zoom platforms, to hold a wonderful conference. Praising and also greeting may remain expressed to the Lord for the success of this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, in this academic culture, this is going to have a great chance for experts to share and care about sustainable development goal as the United Nations goal to keep mankind in good order. Hopefully, this conference running well and success. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Mr. President of Indonesian Education Shelter Care Volunteers. Dear brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the end of the session of this grand opening, the Mega Virtual International Conference 2021. So from me, my name is Abdul Wafi. So allow me to end opening, but after that, we are going to the next session. That our beautiful moderator, Dr. Nurul Fadilah, SPDM Home. Well, before I give the time to Dr. Nurul Fadilah, so let's end the program of this grand opening by reading Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you very much. And now I would like to give the time to Dr. Nurul Fadilah, SPDM Home. Hello, dear sister, Nurul Fadilah.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, with your beautiful smile, you are here again.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity.
So I give you time to handle the session.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much to hand over the session for me. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, participants. Good afternoon. Special warm greeting from me for all of the keynote speakers today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Nurul Fadilah. I am English lecturer from IAIN Loksmawe Aceh. I would like to greetings, Honorable Rector of IAIN Madura and his people, and also head of MPI, honorable speakers from all 47 countries. Today we have, and also honorable committee of 6 University of Indonesia and 2 NGO of this conference, yeah, from Patala Palalo Foundation and Indonesian Education Shelter Care Volunteer. As it is mentioned before, that today we have 9 keynote speakers today from Australia, Nepal, Italy, United Kingdom, USA, Germany, Philippines, Taiwan, and Indonesia. So without talking too much more, I will invite our first keynote speaker. He is from Australia, Dr. Chris Soteropoulos. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you,
Yes.
Dr. Fadila. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
I should say at the outset, congratulations to the State Islamic Institute of Madura. Congratulations to the dignitaries, the organizing committee, as well as yourself, Doctor. When I have spoken to my friends around the world in the last week and informed them of this event where there were 47 keynote speakers, they were astonished, impressed, and a little bit jealous. They would love to participate. The theme was very important, and congratulations for the leadership shown to demonstrate the interest in identifying current and emerging practices from around the world for your beautiful country, Indonesia, and the region as well. I will
Thank
now
you very much.
I'll now
Thank you very
move
much.
to share my screen.
Yeah, sure. The time's for you now. We will have 15 minutes for you, Doctor.
Thank you
very much. Yeah,
Thank
see you.
Okay, virtuous intelligence using entrepreneurial pathways conjoined with hybrid learning pedagogy to tackle SDG goals. That's a very long title, but we will break it up as we proceed. Virtuous intelligence, entrepreneurial pathways connected with hybrid learning pedagogy for the objective of tackling, achieving the SDG goals. There are 4 foundation elements that I'd like to raise today. They're all related, so there's not first, second, third, and fourth. Virtuous intelligence, a term not of mine, of a very old chap called Aristotle, philosopher, where he indicated in his writings, Nicomachean Ethics, which was to his son, that you have to be virtuous in undertaking your activities in life. And it's a different element to emotional intelligence. I know people of Indonesia have a very strong virtuous makeup. And what we're saying today is that achieving the SDG goals requires that virtuousness or righteousness as well. The second element is social engineering, not necessarily a very flash collection of words, but what it means is that the international community, as well as your local communities, require socialization and planning around tackling your local community issues, your national issues, international issues such as climate, poverty, which are enshrined in the SDGs. A little bit closer to the education element, we have pedagogy entrepreneurship, where we know within the teaching institutions of kindergarten, primary, secondary, and tertiary, there are some very good pathways, but that perhaps the time has come to insert entrepreneurship, which leads to left field creativity, innovation, ideas for tackling the many problems that exist around the world, not just in a particular community. What needs to happen then is that we need to leverage the learnings, the virtuousness, the socialization into an ecosystem which embeds this mindset within your community, but also internationally. Linking the dots. So virtuous intelligence is a term not known to many. As I indicated, it is attributed to the Aristotelian mindset, but it also captures a values-based mindset, which I know very well the Indonesian community has substantial. In the West, we're sort of trying to figure out how values education fits into the curriculum. But what many believe is that a values-based mindset embedded within education and the community leads to a virtuous intelligence, underpinned also by knowing thyself, and also local contextualization. What local contextualization means is that what works in my part of the world, Melbourne, Australia, does not necessarily work in your part of the world. And what happens in our good friends in Somalia or Singapore or the United States or other parts of the world. So the local contextualization is an essential element. Social engineering has provided empowerment for SDG solutions. We have seen this around the world, and it's a good thing. And embracing it, as this conference, this mega event has done, and validation and endorsement through the many speakers, both local and international, is evidence of this social engineering. The pedagogy, entrepreneurship, we believe, is the new way to create quick wins. We're also advocating for passion-based. What is in your heart? What excites you in terms of teaching models as well as for students is, we believe, an interesting mechanism to investigate and perhaps practice for this outcome. We also believe that empowerment connected with an international scope, not just a scope within the local context, is a mechanism which is enlived by this format of the conference for these objectives. However, it must complement curricular requirements, curricular needs as mandated by local government and national governments. Where does the word hybrid come in? Look at what we're doing at the moment, enjoying hybrid learning. Students have enjoyed hybrid learning, perhaps not of their choice, with the health dramas internationally, but the hybrid mechanism has opened the world to possibilities. And I don't think the hybrid model will go away, certainly in the next half dozen years. Embedding in the ecosystem is very important. Another old chap called Epictetus, a Greek philosopher, enshrined the practice of repetitive activities for improvement, which has now been taken through into cognitive behavioral therapy. But that embedding requires national and international contribution. So the Young Dream Creators program, which we see here from young and university, so primary, secondary, university, developing a project of passion, being empowered, creating solutions to SDGs, is a wonderful format for consideration. It's about sparking the passion. The impossible becomes possible, stimulating creativity and innovation, developing a project, and surprisingly, fine-tuning communication and written skills. When students are told that the impossible is possible and that they will have a role to play, and a project is passion-based, different neurons are connected in the head. It's a fascinating observation. What does that do for the ecosystem? Global networking, respect for our world. Here you have kids meeting through WhatsApp with kids from around the world, across the continents, laughing, learning, breaking down barriers, coming up with solutions. We also use a multicultural and multi-age relationship to manage this activity. and the outcomes that can have international benefit. However, as we know, projects have twists and turns that teaches resilience and overall well-being, international collaboration and empowerment from the ecosystem as well. 30 seconds on this one. It is a program which has structure. It is a program which discovers, brainstorms, project plans, and project executes. This enables stringency as we know it, as you know it, in an academic environment. What have we learned from this? Very surprising. Communication skills have improved. Oral, written, language, mathematics, the ability to project manage, even for kids in primary school as well as those at university. Logic, I can't tell you the inability of logic learning across many countries of the world, and I'm still scratching my head as to why that's the case. Now, what did we learn that we didn't plan for? Reduction of anxiety, children's wellness, their health, their mental status improves substantially. They're empowered, they see respect. And a phrase, not dream stealing, which means, oh, that's a terrible idea, you'll never amount to anything. That's go and do your homework and don't talk to me about wonderful solutions. These programs do not steal dreams. However, we've assessed the 360-degree impact, student, teacher, family, friends, community, to identify what their thoughts are. And that's part of that ecosystem management as well. Obviously, innovation, creativity, expansion of possibilities, and hence achieving SDG goals. But let's not discount the health impact and also the depth of communication learning. So we welcome international collaboration and rollout of such initiatives to achieve the SDGs, because what we've learned is that children or students, when you're giving them a passion-based project, when you're allowing them to see the impossible as possible, and then when you're saying to them, let's take this project around the world, they just, the hairs on their hand rise. They are emboldened and impassioned. That, we think, will lead to magnificent opportunities to achieve the SDGs. On that note, I thank you all very much. Extend best wishes for a mega event, which will be extremely successful and talked about for many years. And also to the organizing committee, the institute, and all the participating groups, because this is going to be a wonderful success. Thank you very much. I'll now stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chris. I can say, wow, I'm really impressed with your presentation, especially when you're talking about the linking dots. Yeah, so I highlight one word, one sentence of you in the last, that let's take this project around the world, SDGs. Yeah, so I give you applause. I'm really happy that to have your presentation today. I'm really impressed. Thank you very much, Doctor. So your sharing is making people will understand how much important of this SDGs. Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. I invite some participants. Maybe you want to have question or maybe comment for Dr. Chris' presentation. Anyone? Let me check chat box. Okay, this is from Dr. Lie Kat. Wonderful presentation, Dr. Chris, from Dr. Lie. He is from Thailand, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Okay, very impressive from Dr. Patricia. Well, thank you, Doctor, for your beautiful, wonderful presentation. We will move now to the second speakers, keynote speakers, who is from Nepal. Dr. Pia Ratna Maharijan. Are you already here, ma'am? Pia Ratna Maharijan, Hello? Yeah, still comment from Laksmi Mohan. Wonderful presentation, Dr. Chris. So everybody agree with me. Well, since I didn't get any response from Dr. Pia, we will move to Italy. Miss Melissa Esposito, I can see you are here already.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, good afternoon from
afternoon.
Indonesia. So what the time is now in Italy?
It's about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, 8 a.m. Yeah, so it is morning. Good morning for you.
Thank you.
Italy. Yeah, so we will start the presentation from Miss Melissa. The time and the screen for you. 15 minutes, ma'am. Thank you.
This is my presentation. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Esposito, and I'm an Italian math teacher for several years. Excuse for my English. I speak Italian. For several years, I've been involved in innovating my teaching by experimenting with different teaching methods. The pandemic forced us to work from home for several months, and we all had to learn to teach in a blended and hybrid way. Hybrid learning can be a useful weapon were previously unknown to them. Hybrid learning is an educational model where some students attend class in person and online virtually from home. Educators teach remote and in-person students at the same time using tools like video conferencing. In some cases, hybrid classes include asynchronous learning elements like online exercises and pre-recorded video instruction. The 2030 Agenda to Sustainable Development, it wants to redirect humanity towards a sustainable path, and it was developed following the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. The 2030 Agenda contains 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Their aims is to secure a peaceful, prosperous, and equitable life on Earth for everyone, now and the future. Hybrid learning has to help students to achieve sustainable development goals. How? I explain you. With this paper, I want to propose a different way to bring students closer throughout hybrid learning to these objectives of the 2030 Agenda to achieve sustainable development goals. How? The new frontier of teaching methodologies is learning throughout gamification and game-based learning. Let's see what it is, and later I will show you some examples. Sustainable development is still a strange concept for many people, which is why it has used gamification to respond to urgent need to amplify its message and generate paradigm shift. From an educational perspective, there are three important concepts linked to games: gamification, game-based learning, and serious game. They are all related, but are also different. Gamification is most known. It is used to designate an activity in which playing and education or training are related. However, gamification consists in the use of a mechanics of playing in non-playing context. It is often implemented with help of online platforms such as Classcraft or Class Dojo. How goes gamification? You earn points reshaped receive rewards, and unlock new levels. So brain gets excited, and the results are we release dopamine, feel good, and we feel motivated and chase after more rewards. Game-based learning is a teaching method that balances the educational materials with the strategies, rules, and social aspects of playing a game. Games are an effective way to learn because they stimulate adventure and keep our brain happily engaged. Learning theories support game-based learning in active learning, problem-based learning, social learning, and collaborative learning. The type of games we meet are simulation, adventure, role play, strategy, quiz, and benefits of game-based learning in classroom, in particular in hybrid learning, are student-centered learning, increased child's memory capacity, computer and simulation fluency, and problem solving. Here we can see the differences between gamification and game-based learning. They are not the same. For example, the assessment for gamification is not within the game. For game-based learning are in the game. The new frontier of gamification, game-based learning, are digital escape rooms. What are game escape rooms? Are a recent entertainment phenomenon that became popular recently. Typically, an escape room will be played by a small team of players, 4 or 6, that will be locked in a room and have to solve puzzles within the time limit in order to escape. The goal is to ensure that participants identify strategies during the experience to promote change in the society in which they live. In particular, they should achieve sustainable development goals using escape rooms. In fact, when escape rooms have a pedagogical purpose, they are usually called edu escape rooms and can be related to gamification and game-based learning, and the potential for students' engagement and motivation is one of the main advantages of edu escape rooms. The game will take place telling a story with a core goal. For example, to escape from the mad scientist lab or save the planet from pollution. Okay, this narrative will influence the way in which the room is set and dressed, and the types of puzzle that we need. Since escape rooms have become a popular activity, educators have quickly seen the potential for learning. Educational escape rooms are very popular in the USA, but focusing on maths and science games in high school. Then became popular in Canada, in the UK, Spain, and Germany, and now in all over the world. Creating a good educational escape room is not easy, but involves getting the right combination of fun, playability, and intended learning outcomes. The role of the teacher is crucial because in the learning process, also in collaborative learning. During the game playing, different aspects of the role of teachers can be distinguished: monitoring, guiding, providing hints, and debriefing. The escape room concept are design characteristics. Players need to transfer from their real life context into the game context, such as a crime machines or a woods and so on. The immersion of players during gameplay is very important. In educational games, it is used to get a learning engaged. solving challenges, and finishing the task. To design an escape room, you have to provide instruction first, then get stuck, then you have to solve puzzles and run from the room, and finally you can celebrate your victory. There is a large number of pedagogical reasons why playing educational escape games, and they offer a valid and engaged approach to learning. First, escape rooms offer the opportunities for groups of students to work together to solve puzzles. Good escape rooms cannot be solved alone. For example, they need two people in different spaces, and this is perfect for hybrid learning to solve a code. One in class and one online, and they can solve a code and find a code. So they have to communicate and collaborate. Escape room engage problem solving, present a variety of different types of puzzle, from codes and ciphers and traditional puzzle, to find a complex digital puzzles. Players also develop resilience as they make multiple attempts to solve puzzles, and they use lateral thinking because they have to think differently from their usual mindset and combine objects and ideas in new ways. And the engagement, the very fact of playing an exciting, time-dependent, immersive game may be engaging for many. In this figure, I show you some puzzle structures in escape room. On the left, we have basic structures: open, sequential, and path-based. On the right, we have a complex hybrid structure, such as a pyramid. Squares represent puzzles, and rectangles represent meta-puzzles. We have cognitive puzzles, physical puzzles, and meta-puzzles. We can use a lot of tools to create an escape room. The digital tools that can be used can be Google Sites, where you can introduce an activity on each page with different tools to solve riddles, puzzles, codes, and ciphers, enigmas of various kinds. In the example I have here, I created using Google Forms, learning apps generally, and the structure is very simple. It is a sequential structure that presents the puzzle one after the other. Solving a puzzle unlocks the next until the meta-puzzle can be solved. If you want, I can show you. I have time? Do I have time?
I'm so sorry, Dr. Melissa. We have limited time because your time is only 2 minutes left.
Okay. This is another slide.
Yeah, later you can share the link, yeah, for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
okay.
in chat
Then I'll
box.
send you.
Thank you very much.
This is another slide when you can see a lot of interesting escape rooms created about sustainable development. There is a phrase, a citation of Barack Obama: "We are the first generation to feel the effects of change climatic, and the last that can." There is something there. And this is an example of an interesting escape room that we created in Italy about sustainable development goals. And our students that played this game enjoyed a lot altogether, and understand what is the problem now, what are the problems for our generation and for us. Okay, I finish. Thank you. It has been a great experience for me. And congratulations for your mega conference. It is very interesting.
Thank you very much, Miss Melissa. It's such a great presentation because it is very new for me when you are explaining some different games for learning, and also some games that is out of my imagination, because I do use learning using game-based learning, but some of game that you have introduced to us today, I never heard that. So it is really new. That I really love that if you say that you want to share the link for this
okay, I'll share
game.
In the chat or maybe in the WhatsApp group.
Yes, it is okay if you can send both in link chat or also in WhatsApp group. Yeah, okay. Because I believe that every lecturer or every teacher right now, because we know that our students love game, so they will have this kind of strategy of learning. Okay, I am inviting participant if you want to ask something to Miss Melissa. Is there any question for Miss Melissa? This is nice, a wonderful presentation. Miss Patricia, you are there. Raising hand. Do you want to ask something? Please welcome and open your mic. Open your microphone. You can ask.
All right, thank you so much for the lovely presentation. I just wanted to find out, in a class, I've got a class of about 20 or 30 students. What are the effects of gamifications on different personalities that are in my classroom? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Patricia. Miss Melissa, do you catch the question? It is about the member in the class, the students in the class. If there are 20 or until 30 students in the class, what is the effect for having gamification?
They're very engaged, very excited, and they ask me always every day to play again an escape room. We play the physical escape room in the class and digital escape room when we are online or we have hybrid learning.
So you also have 20 and 30 students in your class?
20
students. Yeah,
20, yes.
Yes,
also less, also more. When I told 2030, I spoke about 2030 agenda.
Oh, okay, I see. So it has happened in your class, and there is nothing bad happened. So it is going smooth in your class. There is no bad effect.
No, okay, they enjoyed a lot. Gamification is a great strategy to teach.
Maybe next time we would like to collaborate with you to know what is how is to implement it specifically, in detail. Okay, Miss Melissa.
Okay, I wait your.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much, Miss Melissa. Yeah, thumbs up from Miss Patricia there. Well, since we have limited time, we will move to next speaker. Not speaker today. We have Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas Akolalu from UK. So you are already there, Prof. Dr. Queen Elizabeth. I'm sorry, I missed to mention your professor right now. Yeah, Professor Dr.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, welcome to Indonesia. Welcome to our conference. How are you, Professor?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, I can see you are ready right now.
It's still early, so early in the morning.
Oh, really?
Well,
what time is it now?
Around 7 o'clock.
Oh, 7 o'clock. So
yes.
1 hour earlier from Italy.
Good afternoon from Indonesia, my dear Professor.
Good morning, good evening. Good afternoon.
Well, we will have you in your presentation in 15 minutes, Professor. Please welcome. The time and the screen is for you.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our distinguished participants and the speakers and the great organizers. Greetings from United Kingdom. I want to say thank you to this organizer of Mega Virtual International Conference for inviting me as the keynote speaker at this great conference with participants of more than 47 countries. Wow. And large numbers of collaborators and partners. This is amazing. Truly, truly, this is a mega conference. Thank you also for this great opportunity to inspire and share on this theme of the conference, multidisciplinary hybrid learning in achieving sustainable development goals, SDG, with the great message of yes, you can adapt to change when you renew your mindset. A renewed mindset will transform education, lives, relationships, leaderships, and social and economic, and we meet these sustainable goals. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Lucas, author of Greatness and inspirational speaker, award-winning author of Yes, You Can book, global advisor, mentor, director, and CEO of Yes, You Can International. All protocol observed. I acknowledge and represent and respect all the distinguished guests of honor and keynote speakers and the participants and our honorable moderator. Permit me also to recognize and acknowledge Professor Dr. Mutnaya. I hope I pronounced it well. I'm trying my best for and Professor Andy Asrifan, my wonderful colleagues who introduced me to this great event and this opportunity. I am so grateful. Multidisciplinary hybrid learning is about combining classrooms learning and online learning. It is proactive and it is a constant learning in different disciplines. Sorry, I'm not a slide person or PowerPoint, so I won't be able to share any slide because I'm an inspirational speaker and I speak almost 10 times a week. So you can permit me, agree. So let me go on. How can multidisciplinary hybrid learning achieve sustainable development goals? That is a very big question in our mind as an educator, mentor, coach, parents, teachers, lecturers, even learners as well. So how do we meet this goal? So first of all, let me pause for a few seconds to recognize and celebrate our educators, our learners, our mentors, and our coaches. And a salute to all our teachers. We appreciate you all. Malcolm X said, education is our passport to future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepares for it today. So education is a key. It's our freedom. And it's the real solution to our problems today and tomorrow. Carl Bencham stated that they may forget what you said, but they will not forget how you made them feel. I'm talking about our students now. Bill Gates stated too, technology is just a tool. It's just a tool in terms of getting the kids or the teacher or the students, in terms of getting them to work together and motivate them. It is the hands of all the teachers. And so great teachers motivate them every day. And that is why we cannot forget all our teachers all over the world. Teachers are our role models. Their love of children draws them to teaching. The reason why I am focusing on this, because we are all teachers in one way or the other, and we need to be inspired in what we are doing in order for us to improve our performances and also to embrace change, adapt to change, and also enjoy what we are doing. So I just want to say these things to our teachers. Teachers are our role models. Their love of their children draws them to teach it. They were also inspired that the teachers that first taught them earlier on, and their ways to appreciate their teachers is to take up the career of teaching and themselves. That is why they are being inspired and be motivated. Sometimes you will hear some of the pupils will say, I want to be a teacher. Why? Because you have imparted into their lives and you have showed them the good part of being a teacher, and they've enjoyed your teaching. So that is why some of them will say, I wish I'm a teacher. I want to be a teacher in the future. So please be encouraged because they are all your products. So they will be inspired. Parents are also our first teachers. So let's not forget about that. Parents are the first teachers to their children. And when they reach certain age, then the children were being released into our hands for us to impart into their lives, to guide them through by knowing and recognizing and helping them to develop their purpose on earth. Teachers are our friends, effective partners, creative, dedicated, passionate, caring, innovative, excited to teach and to motivate us. They assist others to discover themselves and they add values to every one of us. That's the teachers. Sidney Hook said, everyone who remembers his own education remembers teachers. Not the method and the technicals, but the teachers is the heart of educational system. So we appreciate their passion and their skills using to motivate the students. I just want to encourage the teachers to continue the good works, knowing that teachers all over the world will not be forgotten and they shall be greatly rewarded. So we are here today in this conference to solicit for change. How can we apply different approach for change in our educational system? Change is needed, especially in this modern and technological world. Teachers are flexible and they can adapt to change, no matter how hard it is. Notice that it is possible. And yes, they can push educations to the next level to achieve sustainable development goals. Without change mindset, there will be no change. And without change, there will be no progress. Change brings efficiency, fulfillment, satisfaction, accuracy, and speed. It brings glory in the end. President Barack Obama said, change will not come if we want for someone somewhere. If we are waiting for them, we are the ones to change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are the change that we seek. Change will start from willingness to adapt to change. And to make a change, knowledge is required. And to be fulfilled in life, wisdom is necessary. Change is needed in our education or learning, and growth mindset will allow us to achieve higher and learn better and create and see opportunities. Knowledge is power, so keep learning. Learning is living and lifelong, so keep learning. To keep learning is to take extra activities in learning. And that is why multidisciplinary hybrid learning is necessary, and we can achieve sustainable development goal. To improve our performances is to keep learning. To make a change in the world is to keep learning. To stand out and make a difference is to keep learning. To come out of our comfort zone is to keep learning in a different styles. To give back to the community is to keep learning. We need to unlearn what we've learned, to relearn and embrace new change and find different ways to learn and to teach our students. Multidisciplinary learning, we advance our knowledge and bring creativities, into innovations and new ideas to the subject. It will improve specialties in any subject and more solutions. It will bring better understanding, and better understanding will lead us to do better and great quality performance. So better understanding, we also improve application and implementation of what we learned. Better understanding, we also bring new ideas and innovation. Multidisciplinary hybrid learning is also bring entertainment and fun to our education system, and that will motivate our learners and our students. So, to advance knowledge and skills and be creative in learning is to use multidisciplinary hybrid learning approach to achieve sustainable development goal. The Harvard Business Review and describes strategy people create connections between ideas, plans, and people that others fail to see. And that is why we are here. Mindset is everything. So when we are talking about change, we are talking about mindset. Mindset used for acquiring knowledge. You can conceive and achieve with your mind. A mindset can be doorway or barrier to your destiny, depending on how you think. It is your thought that will help you to shape your boundary. Your mind is the producer of your present circumstances. So mindset is the powerhouse. Let me move further down because I'm trying to meet up my time. So how do we renew our mindset? It's not new to educators, but I will still share it. And it's by reading books, observing, investigation, research, summary, and comprehend the findings and understanding and implement wisdom is the principal thing. And in all our getting, we get understanding. So to conclude, so consistent learning is the key to success. Applying this multidisciplinary hybrid learning is the way forward in education. Take the advantage of various online trainings to explore, to improve, and sustain our students' ability to learn more, both in the classroom and online, and be proactive. And yes, it is possible to achieve this. Yes, it is possible by shifting and changing our mindset, willing to adapt to change and explore new things to achieve SDG. Yes, we can achieve it. And finally, with my 2 minutes, dream to change, decide to change, determine to change, discipline yourself for a change, be diligent to change. Above all, develop positive habit of change. And yes, you can change the system and adapt to change. Learn a new skills. And guess what? Yes, you can achieve it. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Elizabeth Lucas from United Kingdom, the founder of Yes You Can International. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Professor Elizabeth Lucas. It is nice, wonderful, because you are explaining about the change, yeah, and I love when you say that, yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible. Yes, you can do it. Of course, because it is a jargon from your what to say your director of Yes You Can International. Yeah. Well, it is already 2:25 actually, but I can invite one participant who wanna ask question. I like the last word. Please repeat, Prof. Love it so much. Santi Arbi asked me to tell you that she loves when you say the last words. Yes, you can. Yeah.
Thank you.
It is jargon from Dr. Professor Dr. Elizabeth. Yeah. Well, while waiting from the question from the participant, I can a little highlight from your presentation just now. So the key of successful using this multidisciplinary hybrid learning, achieving sustainable development goals. So SDGs, the key of SDGs is the change. So there is progress, so we can have the achievement of this SDGs. Yeah. Anyone asking? Let me check. Oh, this one. Teachers are role model for students, how to fit the students. Yeah, Miss Santi again repeat your. So she also has a highlight, yeah, a highlight from your presentation. And I also love when you said about the let's say these proverbs. Yeah, education is a passport of future. Students may forget what you said, but they will remember how you made they feel. So this is about motivation. So I love the quotation from you, Miss Elizabeth. Well, since there is no question, please give answer.
I think there's a question here.
Yeah. The second one. How you implement the hybrid learning in the classroom? Oh, I thought, yeah. There is 2 comments, but the other one is how you implement the hybrid learning in the classroom while you focus on students, but teachers are the role model. How you implement the hybrid learning.
Okay, teachers are also role model for students, how to fit the student and engage them in learning for student-centered learning process. Let me just combine the two together because of the time. While I was studying, you will be surprised that I did my first degree at the age of 50.
50.
And so,
wow.
50. So yeah. people like us, we can't really adapt. I mean, absorb only just teacher teaching us. We need to, understand what we've been taught in class. So sometimes while the teacher is teaching us, they are also introducing, they are showing us videos. So apart from them talking, we are also watching the videos of activities, so that we can understand what they're being taught and teaching us. So sometimes they will show us video. Sometimes they will also ask us to research in the class, in the same class, because sometimes we have our own computer in front of us. So, our laptop and other things. So they will ask us to research something at a certain time. They integrate both the video, watching the video, researching something, and also they are teaching us. So it's like integrating 3 or 4 things together within a short period. And I believe that is what we call multidisciplinary, where correct, yeah. You are not just there sitting, because people like me, sometimes I might have doze off when people are talking a long time. That's why I don't talk too much. So I might doze off, but when there is activities like that you're watching the video for 5 minutes, you are listening to the teacher giving us some techniques, some principles, and then you are also researching on the laptop, because at that time, teacher is encouraging us to research. not to
Yes.
only depend on him. So when we
Yes.
research like that, and then we come up out of that research within the short period, we are also discussing what we've learned or what we've
Yes.
seen from that research. So, and I believe this can be done in the class today, especially when all this COVID has really discouraged our students in one way or the other. Some of them, sometimes they don't even want to go to school at all, especially in this Western world where I stay. People prefer to just hang around out there or to do something else. But when you engage them, their mind will be there in
Yes.
that classroom and they'll be able to do more. And guess what? Even when they leave that classroom and go back to their house, they will be motivated to continue with that research or to do
Yes.
something on that. And I think that is my answer.
Yes,
Have I?
I absolutely agree, ma'am. So the teacher is doing integrated strategy, yeah, from doing this and that. I believe that it is answered the question from Miss Santi Arbi, yeah. Thank you very much for the question.
Have I
Sorry,
answered the
I
question?
almost miss it. I almost miss it. Well, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the
yeah.
question.
Yeah, thank you for the question. And also thank you very much for Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth. We will move to the next speaker. I invite, yeah, thank you, Doctor. Dr. Atikula.
Have I answered your questions, Miss? Have I answered your two
Miss
questions?
Santi,
Because I
Miss
tried to
Santi,
combine.
I just now I saw that she nod his head, yeah,
Okay.
but he
Okay.
doesn't open her mic, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That's good.
thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for all the great organizer of this event. I really, really appreciate this. This is massive and this is successful. And I want to say congratulations. Congratulations. You've done very well, all the organizers. And our great moderator, keep up the good job. You're doing well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you very much for the appreciation. Yeah, we move to Dr. Atikula. Are you here, Doctor?
Yes.
Dr. Atikula. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
The dean of Tarbiyah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Atikula. We have Dr. Atikula, the next speaker from Indonesia. He will present and sharing about his knowledge, about his presentation. The time is 15 minutes. The floor is, the screen is for you, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon and good morning. Good evening, all over the world. Thank you very much for the opportunity for me. Okay, before presentation, I to pray by Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salatu wassalamu ala asrafil mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Rabbi israh li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wa ba'du, oh my Lord, expand for me my breast and AC for me my and until to know from my took that he might understand my speech. Okay, my name is Atikula. You can call me Atik. I am as associate professor at State Islamic Institute of Madura. I'm also the dean of Tarbiyah faculty. My expertise is education, management, leadership. I love reading book and writing article and book. For further detail of my work, you can visit my Google Scholar. in that link. And then the topic, the concept of prophetic leadership in building quality educational institution. Introduction. Prophetic leadership is inspired by the leadership model, especially by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. According to Baharuddin Umarso, the leadership of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam built from transcendental values and perspectively direction, especially by the prophetic, by the Prophet in this day. This Prophet Muhammad, transcendental values and prophetic leadership. In Indonesia, the term of prophetic was first popularized by Kuntawijaya. His idea of grounding transformative science, social science, with which he took was still too utopian, and the idea of profit social science was born. The apostolic prophetism of Prophetic Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, prophetic leadership from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Siddiq, amanah, tabligh. With Siddiq, truthfulness, character, leader with character and integrity will bound. And with amanah, trustworthiness, it will produce leader for honest and trustworthy. And with tabligh or communicative is will produce with leaders for respect the existing local situation or local wisdom. And with patona is will produce competent leaders so that they are able to support the creation confident personality. It is prophetic leadership, Siddiq, amanah, tabligh, and patona. And then implementation of prophetic leadership in educational institution. Prophetic leadership is an abstraction of prophetic trait which consists of several sustainable principles in leadership. This prophetic trait is interpreted in leadership theories, especially Kuntawijaya's idea. Humanization, liberation, and transgender. Next, humanism. Humanism can be understood as the process of humanizing human. In the context of leadership, humanism can be interpreted giving example or role model, being compassionate, spreading love, kindness, giving promises. And liberation. The prophetic mission is the liberation in human from ignorance, slavery, and all the from human values. In the context of leadership, liberation can be interpreted as visionary, innovative, and integrity. And then transcendent. Transcendent is the definite values that become the spirit and spirit of the leadership of the people Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the abstraction of transcendent values in the context of leadership, spirituality, sensitivity, potensi, wara, or continuous, ridha, tawakal, and retreat. And conclusion about this topic, creating an effective system of Islamic educational institution can be done through prophetic leadership. In Kunto Wijaya's perspective, the component of prophetic leadership, humanization, liberation, and transcendence with and can be realized by imitating the qudwa and uswa of the leadership of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, with his style relevant to modern leadership theory. It is prophetic leadership, qudwa and uswa. It is modern leadership. Okay, I want to finish that. I want to finish presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Atikula, Dr. Atikula. Apa kabar Pak? Sehat Pak? Gimana di Madura? How is the situation in Madura? Because it is holding in Madura, the center of this conference.
Yes.
Suara saya kedengaran kan Pak?
Good. Alhamdulillah.
Oh, Alhamdulillah. So, Dr. Atikula explain us about the let's say the characters of our Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yeah, he explained in detail, and it becomes his presentation today. It is actually the time for inviting the participant who want to ask question, but I can handle it later. Maybe any comment for him? Mungkin ada yang mau menyapa, because it is a great work from Yayan Madura, which is organized by them, this conference, and also dengan adanya dukungan and full support from the dean of this university, of this faculty, Tarbiyah faculty. Bapak mungkin bisa diceritakan sedikit Pak, apakah ada under pressure di sana, atau it's still fine, everybody happy here, so we encourage this conference nicely. Boleh bahasa Indonesia Pak, nggak apa-apa, biar teman-teman juga tahu bahwa we have the dean here, we have the authority people, but you have full support for this conference.
Terima kasih. Kita sangat apresiasi sekali dari kegiatan-kegiatan seperti ini. Tentu kita akan bisa mendapatkan pengalaman-pengalaman dari para narasumber, kemudian ilmu terutama, kita meningkatkan sumber daya manusia kita, baik itu mahasiswa, dosen, maupun kelembagaan kita. Karena di masa-masa yang akan datang tentu tantangan kita semakin kuat, semakin luas. Oleh karena itu semakin perlu kita melakukan sinergi dan penguatan seperti seminar-seminar, konferensi, dan lain sebagainya.
Tentunya untuk menambah link juga ya Pak ya.
Itu kami mengucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada para.
Iya. Sama-sama Pak. Berarti dengan I can confirm that if next year will be the same kind of this kind conference. Saya bisa konfirmasi ya Pak ya, tahun depan akan ada lagi di Yayan Madura ya Pak ya.
Depan kita.
Insya Allah, oke. So it will continue to the next seminar in international conference for next year. Amin insya Allah. Terima kasih banyak Pak supportnya dari YN Madura, luar biasa. Well, thank you very much also for your presentation, sir. We will move to the next speaker. I invite Dr. Tania Simons. Are you here? Dr. Tania Simon? What about Pil Claudia Prekel? I can tell you that the absence of some speakers, it is because our different time. Karena ada perbedaan waktu dengan teman-teman yang dari luar negeri. It is early morning around 5 a.m. right now, so they couldn't join us. But later we will have the video of their presentation, yeah. So we missed today Miss Tania Simon's presentation, also Pil Claudia Prekel, because I haven't seen her today yet in this screen, yeah. Well, next we will invite, I can see you, my brother here from Philippines, Dr. Chris Zita. Welcome, doctor. How are you? How are you, brother?
Yes, hello, good afternoon and good day.
Good afternoon. So it is the same time, yeah? 1 hour ahead, yeah?
Yes, it's 1 hour ahead of Jakarta, but at the same time with the other place in Indonesia.
Yeah, with Sulawesi, yeah, with Sulawesi it is the same time. Yeah. So we are going to listen your presentation today. Hopefully I guess you are ready to present. Anything you want to say before starting your presentation, Dr. Chris?
So first and foremost, I would like to thank, of course, the organizers, our organizers, of course, and the supporters for this Mega Virtual International Conference 2021, and most especially to all my friends in Indonesia. Actually, not my friends, but also my brothers and sisters. Okay, so especially our Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteers family, to Dr. Mutmaina, Dr. Andy, Dr. Abdul Gapur, and to the directors and rectors of the different universities, and to all the guests and fellow keynote speakers and honorable people who are joining us today for this mega event, this 6 days event for, of course, exchange of ideas and collaboration with 47 countries. So again, thank you and good day to everyone.
Yes, okay, we will start your presentation now, 15 minutes. The screen and the times for you.
Great.
Is there any problem of your screen?
Not really.
My volume was low and I wanted to hear his super presentation. Well, let me check.
So again, thank you for this opportunity to be with this conference, or this mega virtual conference in multidisciplinary hybrid learning in achieving, of course, the SDGs of our United Nations. So without further ado, so let me have first my, so that is already my qualifications, or should I say my bio note. So you can see there my activities, my organizations, my affiliations, and other activities where I engage with. Okay. So before we begin with the discussion, let me give you this quotation from Li Kangxing. So information and communications technology unlocks the value of time, allowing and enabling multitasking, multi-channels, multi-dis, and multi-dat. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, so my topic discussion will be all about ICT towards hybrid 21st century education. So in my effort, of course, providing or making changes in the process of teaching and learning, I keep on looking for ways and information to complete or to incorporate what we call different ideas and informations about what we call ICT, or that this time of our educational system, we really need to be get together or to be partnered with ICT as we go on with the 21st century education, especially in, of course, making all the SDGs possible in the future. Okay. So the use of technology in education is guided by standards in order for us to develop among learners the skills that they need or to possess for the 21st century, for them to be able to serve not only themselves, but the world. So this is one of the items or phrase or paragraph which I have taken from the International Society of Technology and Education, or the ISTE, which is considered as a non-profit organization that promotes, of course, the use of technology to support and enhance teaching and learning. So you can just visit them on that website for other informations that you can that you need or that may help you in, of course, collaborating or integrating ICT as we, of course, engage in this what we call new era or new normal in education. Okay. So in connection with the standards by the ISTE, here are the standards that are set for its users. So let's start with the standards for administrators. So first, they must be visionary leadership. So there must be visionary leadership. So its leader must have a vision for what will be the future of education, not only for the present. Of course, we are looking forward for what will be happening in the future, because there are so many changes that are happening, especially in terms of technology that might help, of course, our teaching and learning process. And we can say that this technology had helped us a lot to overcome the challenges of education in this pandemic era, not only in hybrid learning, but of course in this pandemic era. So digital aids learning culture. So we must try to incorporate the digital aids as part of the learning process. And I'm not saying that we should forget what the traditional form of education is, but we need to at least elevate or upscale our teaching and learning process so that learners can, or we can cope up with the needs of our learners. And then excellence in professional practice. So leaders and administrators must think about the professional development or professional growth of their teachers, because these are the forefront of learning process. So without knowledge or skills that are needed for the 21st century, then they cannot at least give or share what is important for this 21st century learning. And then a systematic improvement. So there must be a step-by-step process on how can we plan for development, progress, and of course, inculcating all of these things or incorporating all of these things in the teaching and learning process or the education system as a whole. Okay, so let's move on to the standards for the teachers. The teachers must know how to facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. So as part of the conversation or keynote speech of our Queen Elizabeth about, of course, hybrid learning is, of course, we teachers are, of course, role model. So we must know how to inspire and facilitate the learning and creativity among our students. Next is that we should know how to design and develop digital aids, learning experiences, and assessment using the modern technology, because we are, of course, equipped with the traditional forms of creating meaningful experiences and assessment. But then there are changes, as I've said. So we need to move on or step ahead of our learners so that we can really provide them with this kind of experiences for lifelong learning. And then model digital aids work and learning. So we as teachers are the role model of this kind of activities, and then promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. So we know that for every click that we do on the internet, we do have our responsibility. So we should be responsible enough to do what is better and to do or to pick what is right for us and for our learners as well. Because many of our learners are following us on our social media platforms or social media accounts. So therefore, they must see what is good for them and what is better for our profession and as a person as a whole. And then, of course, we must also engage in professional growth and leadership. So we must engage in learning processes or study more. And then, of course, look for other opportunities for us to grow professionally and to be a leader in the future. We should not always stay as a plain teacher. In the future, we might be as part of the administration or the leadership of our school. And then if we have for the administrators or the leaders and for the teachers, we must also have for our students. So these are the standards for the students. So there must be creativity and innovation among them. So they must know how to use different digital applications or digital platforms for them to at least engage in the collaboration with among their colleagues or peers. So that is why number 2 is about communication and collaboration. So it is easier now for our students to communicate and collaborate because of the different social media platforms that they are using. So whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Facebook Messenger, Facebook Room, whatever you call them, okay? So, and then research and information fluency. So they must have that skills or knowledge about research and information fluency. They must know what are the real facts and what will be the false or fake informations. Then critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making skills must be developed in them or must be present in them so that they can really appreciate what is the 21st century education is, and digital citizenship, and then technology and operations and concepts, because this will be definitely part of our system for as long as we deal with the technology. So it appears that major changes in the ways in which teachers and learners view and practice teaching and learning may result from the shift to using ICT. Many people or many teachers are afraid that they might be changed or might be replaced by modern technology, but that is not the big deal. The big deal here is how can we really incorporate or how can we embrace the changes? So just like one of the key terms that I have taken from our Queen Elizabeth, Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth, is that how can we accept and embrace change? So there's change, we must know how to accept change in a positive way, okay? So many futurists view technology and education as a symbiotic relationship because technology provides advantages, education provides advantages, and at the same time, if they work hand in hand, there will be what we call good future for our young ones or young leaders in the future. Okay, let us have now the issues on the importance of ICT. So many people are afraid of using ICT because they say, I'm already old enough, I'm already not into, I'm having so many problems with my health, with my eyesight, and many other scapegoats or other problems that are being manifested. So let's have e-learning or online learning, which is of course very famous nowadays because ICT in education allows for new ways of learning for students and teachers. So e-learning and online learning is becoming popular and it helps us to in different events taking place in our lives. It also opens opportunities for schools to ensure students to have access to curriculum materials, but also allows us to ensure students outside the classroom, such as at home or even everywhere or anywhere this learning can happen. Next, ICT brings inclusion. So ICT in education ensures that students in the classroom can all learn from the different curriculum material, especially those students with special needs, because now we have different applications or ICT integrated instructional materials that can teach our students with special needs or with special disabilities. That is why this is very important nowadays. And then ICT promotes higher order thinking skills. So 21st century skills like evaluating, planning, then we can have monitoring and reflecting have a great impact on learners. The effective use of ICT in education demands skills such as explaining and justifying the ICT or the use of ICT. Then ICT, of course, enhances subject learning. It is well known that these days that the use of ICT in education adds a lot of value to key learning like like literacy and numeracy. Then we also have ICT use develops ICT literacy and ICT capability. Both are 21st century skills that are best developed. ICT remains transparent in the background of subject learning. So the best way to develop ICT capabilities is to provide them with the meaningful activities which are embedded in the subject-related context of our teaching and learning process. Then ICT use encourages collaboration because nowadays, as I've said, it's easy to collaborate because of the use of modern technology or modern gadgets. And then ICT use motivates learning. So society's demands for new technology has not left behind our children and their needs, but rather they are fascinated with technology and it encourages them to and motivates them to learn in the classroom. So also ICT in education empowers or improves engagement and knowledge retention. So students nowadays are more of studying with what they see more, not what they hear. So ICT use allows for effective differentiation instruction with technology. So you can differentiate or you can do a lot of activities with different skills depending on the needs. So if you have one specific topic, then you can group your students according to their skills or their talents, and then you can prepare a specific activity for them to really improve or enhance their skills. And then last one is ICT integration is a key part of the national curriculum. So in any educational curriculum anywhere in the country, whether it's in the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, okay, so this is very interesting part of the movement or empowerment or upscaling and leveling up of the educational system around the world. Especially that, of course, this pandemic is not yet done or not yet through, so we better embrace or engage in using technology. So these are some of the technology innovations in education and for education. So technology is causing massive changes in all sectors of the economy, especially in the education sector. These changes have been felt in the health sector, financial world, the entertainment, even government. So the world will be a better place as a result of these changes. We know that one of the key sectors that has been affected by this disruption is education. So these innovations are giving education, most especially classrooms, a new look, of course, and have changed the ways in which lessons are conducted. So these are some of those which I have searched or have been reading about. So the first one is about artificial intelligence and machine learning. So these are being employed in a wide range of technological applications, ranging from the most basic to the most complicated. So it's becoming increasing commonly or common to see artificial intelligence being used in educational institutions where it is being used to automate functions as like grading and providing feedback. Also used to help students, particularly those with special needs. Next, we have what we call the 3D printing. So educational institutions have already begun to notice the impact of 3D printers. Students in particular have taken a particular interest in them. So textbooks are no longer required to convey the same knowledge because 3D models can do so for you without your involvement, okay? So you can really design or print out the real object or the real replica. So cloud computing for education. Students all over the world have now access to educational resources because of this cloud computing for education. So it's easy now for everyone to at least get connected with their virtual resources or informations that can be taken from any portal or learning management systems available for them to at least engage with. And then of course, the last one, I think this is also very useful. Not really the last one because we have another aside from this, the virtual reality or the VR, okay, or in education without a doubt. So virtual reality technology has taken the information technology. So sector by storm, such as companies like Google, the Sony, the Oculus, so and many others have engaged and partnered with educational systems to make use of technology or virtual reality to be part of the educational system. And then, of course, we have this one. So absenteeism and cheating will no longer be tolerated because of this use of biometrics in school. So checking of attendance will not be hard anymore, or it will not take time. Instead of checking attendance, you can just devote most of your time in teaching or starting the lessons right away. Okay, so if you are really engaged into moving on, so here are some of the websites that you can visit for some help in order for you to lessen the burden and ease or make your work easy as a teacher. Because now we know that everyone had been very busy for preparing different materials. So if you are teaching trigonometry, you can use that website, trigonometry. Okay, so www.etkai.com. So you can see the website there. And we have about laws of motion by physics classroom. Then if you're teaching constitution to younger ones or to the kids so that they will be better equipped or have the knowledge or really understand what constitution is, you can go to www.congressforkids.net. For your, of course, exam, you can have exam instruction or e-instruction.com. Okay, so you have also your Wondershare Quiz Creator, Rubistar for rubrics, Rubik Builder, then the Test Creator, Easy Test Maker, and Rubric Maker. So I hope those websites will be useful on your part as not actually as only teachers, but of course as part of the academy or any sectors that can use these techniques or websites, okay, for us to make our learning easy. Okay, so again, we can really engage into ICT and make this future or this 21st century education an hybrid one, because we know that education needs technology, needs ICT. Let us not be afraid of ICT. Much better is that we should embrace change, embrace ICT, and make ICT as our long-time partner, just like our husbands or wives, because this will help you a lot in your teaching career and in your teaching profession, and make an impact of the lives of our learners and make their learning a lifelong learning. So this is Dr. Crisita from the Philippines saying thank you and stay safe. And thank you everyone for having me here again as part of the Indonesian activity for, of course, collaborating and, of course, exchanges of ideas around the world. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you very much, Dr. Crisita. It's very fruitful, wonderful. It's a charming presentation from you. I really love it because you also provide us some website that we can learn from that. And I also love that when you say that education is engaged always with technology, just like husband and wife. It is nice. Yeah, because you said it is important using ICT. There are a lot of advantages for learning using ICT because we shouldn't afraid of technology. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Crisita, for your wonderful presentation. I am inviting some participants want to ask question, maybe. Miss Patricia, are you still there? Yeah, okay. How best can we help those who cannot afford? Let me check. Miss Patricia says something here. Very informative and excellent presentation, Dr. Chris. How best can we help those who cannot afford or access to technology, those from marginalized communities? So this is the question from Miss Patricia, yeah? How best can we help those who cannot afford or access to technology, those from marginalized communities? So what can I do for these people?
Okay, so actually ICT is not about online learning. So ICT can help you to prepare your printed materials. If I think one of the biggest problems in the world is about internet connection or internet connectivity, which is of course one of the biggest problems that we also have here in the Philippines. That is why education here in the Philippines have different what we call platforms, or so we do have the modular distance learning. So we have the printed forms and the online forms. So for those who don't have the connectivity or the what we call marginalized part of our country, we do provide the what we call printed materials. So we do prepare them using technology. And then of course, we provide them the printed materials, or we go back to the traditional. Although it's traditional, but still we can consider them as part of the information and communications technology, because we do have a television series, or what we call a broadcast for the lessons. So we do record lessons, and then we broadcast them on televisions, so that people from those areas who have the access to televisions, even without the internet, can really have their lessons by watching the televisions. Or if really they don't have that gadgets of televisions, we do have some areas which uses the radio-based education. Or we utilize the radio as form of teaching or reaching out to our learners, which are what we call, or part of the marginalized sector in our country. So we do have different options. It's like I always say in most of my talks in different conferences, there is no such thing as one size fits all. So in our country, we had, before we started our school, we had this survey, which a particular modality can be accepted or can be followed, because we consider the internet connectivity, the gadgets, the materials, and everything that the students need for this continuing education. So again, so we can utilize the printed materials, we can utilize our televisions, our radios, even the two-way radios or the walkie-talkie that we are pass. Okay, so we can utilize those, because some parts of our country are also utilizing those kind of, or the modalities, or the what we call practices. Because again, the Philippines, just like Indonesia, we are geographically separated from one another, because we are 7,100, more than 7,100 islands. So we are separated by water. So just like Indonesia, and even Indonesia, even though you call it an still there are parts, or they do have separate time zone or different time zone, which is of course quite unique, right? So you can utilize or you can improvise. At least ICT doesn't mean that you have to really be online or using the internet. You can use all the technological gadgets that can help you, and that is why it's called information and communications technology. So there are three parts: informations, communications, so how we communicate them, and then the technology. So we gather information, we communicate them through the use of technology. So that is the use of ICT. Okay. So I hope I was able to give
to answer the question from Ms.
answer.
Patricia. Yeah. Well, it is such a wonderful solution that your country have done to your people there. So there are some solution. If it is in remote place, you will provide like a broadcast, and also some places that they will utilize the things that they need to share to the people in the remote place. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very thoughtful actually. I never imagined that it is happened because we didn't have it in some places. Yes, we have in some places, but not all of area covered by that kind of solution. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Krizita, my brother. I hope the answer, the explanation answered the question from Miss Patricia. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Krizita, for your wonderful presentation.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, sama-sama. Okay, we will move to the last presenter actually. Yeah, Ming Yao Hisyung. Ming Yao Hisyung from Taiwan. I hope I spell it correctly. Yeah, Ming Yao Hisyung. Are you here? Because like 2 days ago, I saw her respond in our WhatsApp group. Let me check the message from committee. There is no, he's not here. Yeah, I guess some problems also with the time or the connection. I also want to inform you, the audience, all of the audience, that the center of this conference is in EIN Madura. It is also happening. The problem of the what to say, the internet connection. Yeah, it is down, the internet connection. So some of our committee is not here, but Dr. Abdul Wafi still here with us. Let me check.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the presenter have presented
Okay.
today. Yeah, Dr.
So we can end
Yeah.
our day one, so we can continue again tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you that we will have still 5 days conference in different universities, but it is in one center in EIN Madura. So
Miss,
please
hello?
join us again. Yeah.
Miss Lulu, hello.
Yeah.
I would like to share. I would like to share the attendance link of day one.
Oh yeah, the attendance link. Yeah, the attendance link will be sent after this. Don't move. Don't leave the Zoom link, the Zoom room first. Yeah, and I want to remind you about our 5 days conference in next days. Yeah, it will be in the third day. It will be in the second day. It will be in.
Siden Reng Rapang.
Yeah, Siden Reng Rapang, and then the next day, the third day will be in IAIN Lok Samawe. The fourth day will be in the which one? This one, Banyu Anyar, Tiba Darul Ulum Banyu Anyar, and again next day will be in Siliwangi University, and the last one will be in Unasman. So we still have around 38 presenter from all over around the world. Yeah, so it will be a wonderful conference, wonderful presentation. You will have some insight again from speakers, eminent speakers from around the world. Is it shared already?
Yes.
Yeah, the attendance link is shared for participant. Please do fill in the link, because this is the proof of your attendance here to get the certificate of participation. Well, I am, as moderator, will leave. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry if there are some mistakes happen during leading this presentation, yeah, this session of presenters. Thank you very much for your attention. I say last time, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will give it back to the host, yeah. Mr. Abdul Wafi. We will meet again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Jakarta time. Mr. Abdul Wafi, shall I leave?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. See you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Sir Sikandar Azam from Pakistan, yeah.
Yes, thank you all, everyone, for supporting our first
Thank you, brother. See you.
See you.
Tomorrow still with the same channel, Dindo?
Yep, the same channel. The same channel.
The same
Yeah,
Zoom link.
Rapang. Yeah, the same channel. Bang Andi said so. Ini tadi di recordingnya di ini ya, di cloud ya. Oke. Oke, see you, bye-bye. I leave.